All right. Thank you everybody for being here today. So today I thought I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the aspects of the true nature. So the true nature is what we're working towards, and just for understanding reasons for people who might have not or don't know what I'm referring to. So the true nature is what we are beyond the human, on the ultimate level, and this is the absolute or the Brahman. And we are that already, so everybody is that already. And basically, with this work, healing and clearing the system, expanding on the level of consciousness, we are becoming that more and more. So this is what's happening through my work. So it's a becoming that more and more. I always say the true nature starts to shine through. And with that, so with becoming the true nature, a lot of things are changing in the system. And this is really cool because this is why we see that things are happening. So we can only see that things are happening when there are actually changes, right? When there is a direct feedback. And a while ago, I made a list about my personal experience and what I'm seeing, what is changing by becoming the true nature. And I want to go through the list because there are just so many things that are changing in the system and in the life experience. And there are probably more. I just wrote down a few. And then you can basically check for yourself, yeah, I'm actually experiencing that already, or this is coming in more and more, or this is something that will come in eventually. And basically, my work is, I can't quite hear. Okay, I'm just moving the, is the sound okay for everybody else? Yeah, okay. Um, where was I going? Yeah, so basically, the true nature starts shining forward, and with that, these aspects come into our life experience more and more. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the list, and I think it's really cool. So the first one, I talk about it a lot, is living in the present moment. So we have this mechanism that creates an experience of a past and a future. And by doing this work and the true nature shining forward more and more, this mechanism starts to break down. And it means everything happens in the present moment. So we can, of course, think about the past intellectually. We can make plans in the future, for the future, but everything happens in the present moment. So this is an experience. So we're actually only experiencing the present moment anymore. It's like we're sucked into the present moment and we can't go anywhere else anymore, emotionally, and it's like energetically, it's not supported anymore. So this is a very major change. Then the full flow of life energy. So I talk about this a lot as well, and this is part of nearly every session that I open up the central energy channel, and then life energy is flowing. And for people, for example, who don't do this work or haven't done this work yet, and they have they live in low vibration energies, they often have a very little life energy flowing. And this can be seen in the system. And also the reflection is there in the life experience, so they get stuck. They just feel stuck, for example. And when there is a lot of life energy flowing, means that the central energy channel is open. And we got back a lot of the life energy, because when there are energies stuck in our system, this uses up life energy. So every emotion and every energy that's stuck there from the past, or influencing from past life ancestral influences, it uses up our life energy. And by healing and clearing that, we gain back life energy. More life energy can flow, and then life is just experienced as a flow unfolding in the present moment. And then the next thing is energies don't get stuck anymore. So I talk about it a lot. We accumulate these energies. They get stuck from childhood on, and then, they continuously get stuck until we do this work, right? So we accumulate quite a bit. And then when the system is open enough, expanded enough, and so forth, energies don't get stuck anymore. So you experience them in the present moment, and then they move through the system. So there is no accumulation of new energies and also new karma is not being created anymore. So there's definitely a point where I'm seeing, okay, no new karma is created anymore. So we're working on healing and clearing the old one. But yeah, so that's a very cool part as well. Um, oh yeah, my writing. Being the true nature is the main experience. So I refer to it as the silence, the clarity, the stillness. Then it's a neutral space, basically. It contains nothing but everything at the same time. So it's kind of hard to describe until it is experienced. But I guide you there also in nearly every meditation. So it's coming forward. So you know what I'm talking about, right? And this true nature becomes the main experience. It's this massive expansion. It contains everything and nothing at the same time and so forth. And the human experience is happening within the true nature. So the true nature is never covered anymore or veiled or whatever. It always is there. And then within that, the human is happening. So we always have a human experience in this life. Like with this process, we can, of course, get out of the human experience for a while because certain people, they don't prefer it. So they want to get out of it. It is how it is, but mainly it's really about having a full human life experience, but experiencing the true nature at the same time as main experience. Um, yeah, then no identification anymore. So no identification with life itself. So what life is bringing up, the experiences, the emotions, the thoughts, like this just stops. Eventually, that we identify with things. Then embracing the human life. So, like I said before, it's not escaping this awakening process, not escaping of the human life experience, but it's really like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing this, and I'm fully in, and I'm making the best out of it in that kind of way. So it's really a fully embracing and enjoying. Then desires. This is also a very, I think it's a very important one, is that desires, the typical human desires fall away. And it's just an energy. It doesn't mean that we can have certain things and live the life in a way that we want, because this is what this process is about. We want to find out who we really are as humans as well in this life experience, and what we prefer, what we don't prefer, who we are as humans. And the desires are just energies that are not of the highest truth. And it's like just a desire. For just a few examples to give, for example, the typical, the neighbor has the better car, I want to have a better car than my neighbor, because yeah, those things. So these typical desires, they're just energies. And when they fall away, and we as the human whose system is cleared and healed, just wants to have this fancy car, then we can have this fancy car. But there is no like energy driving us to get this car. So it's happening from this place of our personal highest truth. Yeah, and then the unconditional love comes in. So the human love, the conditional love, just falls away by this process, like everything else that's not of the highest truth. And then this unconditional love comes in. And it's basically the same love experienced for everybody. There's no difference anymore. Everybody's the same. There is like of course, we feel drawn to certain people more than to others. There's just something in their energy. We've known each other maybe from past lives. We have like certain karma we have to work on. So there is definitely this draw to certain beings or people we prefer more over others. But it has nothing to do with the human love that was there before. So it's a different experience. And then the bliss of existence, just by this comes through the session so much as well, right? Is this joy of existence, and then the bliss of existence. So the bliss is a subtle bliss. When we experience a lot of bliss. Sometimes it happens through the energies. Sometimes it happens because of certain healings and clearings in the systems. When there is space opened up, we experience massive amount of bliss. So this is a side effect of this work, and that's really cool. But then eventually it kind of quiets down. So this up and down of this bliss, or the intensity, and then it's this bliss of existence is just there all the time. So all day long, if you sleep or awake, meditate or not, it's just there's a constant bliss, a more subtle bliss, and it's just something that's there. And then the joy of existence, same thing. It's just there all the time, like the joy that we are exist. And it's not that you run around all day thinking, oh my God, I'm so joyful because I exist. It's not like that. It's just like a subtle experience in the background. So it's a high vibrational experience. And then an open system. So this is what I do in every session as well. In the beginning of the session, I open up the energy field. And every time I open it up, it stays open a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. And eventually it's just fully open. And that means, again, life energy can flow, everything can move through, nothing gets stuck anymore, no new karma. So as you see, everything kind of gehört zusammen. This would be the German word. I don't know the English word. Everything is like entangled together. Like, nothing can exist without the other. So and also then, of course, a lot more light comes in. When the system is more open, we can receive a lot more light. And this light changes the information in the system, right? So there's always like this process of transformation happening, and then happens faster and faster. And then a refinement of the nervous system. Oh yeah, connected. Thank you. That's actually an easy word. It didn't pop up. The refinement of the nervous system. This is a very major side effect as well. And that means that we get more perceptive for energies, for what's there as well, besides just this 3D reality experience. So a lot has to do with the nervous system and with the refinement process of that. Also being able to read or to understand the information, the high vibrational information that comes through the system. The nervous system is also part of this translation process, or even being able to read it, or to know that it's there. Expansion of consciousness, to be able to stay in high levels of consciousness, so that they stay open. For example, like, we have a shift, we have an expansion, and this expansion can stay. The nervous system has to do with that, because if the nervous system is not ready, it can't stay open. It closes down again. And this absolute knowing that we always live and never die, again, it's not something that we think about every day, but it's just, we can also say it's just this, first of all, for the human life, it's this absolute 100% trust in life. And then on the level of the true nature is, it's just a knowing, we always live, like we're eternal. So these thoughts or these experiences don't show up that, if we die, that everything ends. Like, this is not a thing anymore, just is not there. Okay, I actually have another page, but it's 15 past, so I'm going to leave it there. We can go through the next page next time or another time. But I think it's just so cool, because going through this process, there is so much transformational experiences and work happening for us, and it's just very exciting. So okay, so that's that. Thank you for listening.
ExperienceNextElevations.com. Receive divine energy 24/7. Free 14-day trial.